Let's see here. Alright, YouTube, this is Nash Taters. Welcome back to another live streaming of War of the Visions. So we're gonna probably start off with the Guild Wars. I've been spending the last few minutes trying to figure out who I really want to attack. There's a lot of nasty teams here. My team is going to be two tanks and one attacker, without healers, without sustain. I'm actually just eyeing this team. It's basically a tough combo for me to beat. Very tough combo to beat. But let's check out Ultimax. Ultimax! What a cool name. I like that name, Ultimax. Mr. or Miss Ultimax, let's check out what you got going on here. What you got going on here, buddy? There it is, Mr. Ultimax. Yikes, got that. So not ideal for me to attack. So this is the team, right? I'm thinking about it because let's do it. I don't know. This is a gambling either way. But you YOLO it, because that's what we do. Commence battle. Got my cup of water here with some bonus material in there. It's just water. Although I don't know what the rules are in terms of getting some refreshing, tasty beverage in there that is of the ETOH variety, but this is not for adult. This is not your adult stream, right? So, or this is not your children's stream. This is not a kid stream, so. But I don't condone such actions without I don't condone such actions without alerting the proper authorities, perhaps. But good evening to everyone. Hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Tomorrow is, in fact, Halloween. I'm very, very excited because I'm a kid at heart, right? I would love to go out and trick-or-treat. If I have kids, I would take them out trick-or-treating. But I do not have any children, so unfortunately I have to stay home and give out the candy, if you will. And so far there has been no notification about shutting things down here in our county. So we're going to treat it as if we are going to, in fact... Oh! Finally got him down. Let's see if we can get a stop here. Boom! Stop! Nope. Confusion is good. I like it. Yes! Oh, wow. Full life didn't work. Don't hit him. Don't hit him, please. You see that? I confused Orlando. Subsequently, Orlando decided to attack. Ayaka. Boom. Got the win, guys. That was a classic win. That right there. I love this game because of that very reason of why I love status ailments, because status ailments is king. When you can turn someone to fight alongside for your side just for a few seconds, it's exciting to watch. And I'm glad I captured that on video because, hey, you know what? If I can confuse people, if I can charm people, that's what ultimately what this game is all about, in my opinion. It's about having a good time And that was a heck of a good time there. So all three of my members are alive. Unfortunately, I did use the limit break for my Agrias, but that's cool. So let's look for another enemy to see if we can take them down. All right, who am I eyeing right here? Should I go for some shooters? Because I don't have my guys equipped with shooters. How about this Dumarando guy? Let's check him out. Let's check out Dumarando. And that was fun, though. I don't know. For those of you just joined, I had a pretty good first battle. So here's Dumarando. I don't fear this team as much as I probably should, because that Glaciala is quite obnoxious. But why not, right? Let's go for it. Let's go for our person, Dumarando. They might have made a little tweak here because that number doesn't match. It may not be Glaciala. It may be like a new unit they pulled and they just kind of brought it up. By the way, I'm actually almost finished. Okay, I have, well, we'll go over in details how many shards I have for my little Leela. Yep, they tricked me. Oh no, I'm not gonna win. I can never kill. Honestly, I can never kill Venera. Venera is like my enemy because none of my guys can hit her. She has so much evasion. At least I exposed this team for my teammates because I think I'm gonna wipe here against Venera. Because there's so much evasion going on, just not enough accuracy in this game to negate all of that evasion. So he's not dead. But there's no heals coming, and Mr. Warrior of Light is taking his sweet time, and there it is. I lost my attacker already. It's GG. But that first battle was very fun because I was able to turn Orlando to fight for my side just for a split second. I think this is a blowout because, yeah, this is a blowout. I haven't even done, literally, I haven't done nothing against this team. Wow. That guy is so stacked. Hey Kenzen, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream tonight. Did you get to witness the first guild battle? That was quite entertaining. Alright, so I got blown out in that fight. I think it's because my guys had literally no AP or something, because they literally didn't do anything for the first 3 turns, 4 turns. They just stood there and got killed, got murdered. That first battle, though, I'm glad I captured it on film. So, you win some, you lose some. You can't win them all, right? You can't win them all. I'm not good enough to win them all right now. Let me load up some barracks. So I will do 5,000 for now. Yeah, all the Veneras I face are strong. I can't kill them at all. So apparently I learned that if you have all 5 stacked up, the JP is spread out among all 5 of the units you put in there. So ideally, if you're trying to stack JP on one unit, then you probably might just want to put 1. But you can see here, see 66, 66, 66, and then 132. So it is spread out. Something I learned recently. But so Ayaka is definitely a unit I want to kind of build, and of course little Leela is up and coming in terms of switching out my offense for Guild Wars. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, but yeah, that was entertaining. So what happened was my Auguries did the limit break and subsequently confused my enemies Sid, and Sid in turn started attacking their Ayaka, bringing her down to a half-life. And I didn't kill her because I don't know why he didn't choose to use any special moves. But it is what it is, right? Okay, let's go over my new unit, Little Leela. My most expensive unit to date, by the way. I'm so close to getting A on the equipment. And since not many people use equipment, this is what I got going on. Just a +3. I know I'm pretty scrubby, but I don't have enough to get it to +5 yet. I think I'm missing... So +3 is 15. I need 63. 60 minus 15 is 45, plus 3 is 48. I have 42, so I need 6. So hopefully I'll get 6 in the next 30 minutes or so. Hey, Hernan C. I don't believe we met. I believe this is your first stream. If it is, welcome. Hope you have a wonderful evening. So that's my plan. I'm going to try to finish the Platinum Ace this weekend. And obviously, she should be able to get the A rating very soon here. And I believe you only need B rating to equip it. So let's do a couple of duels and wait for some more folks to show up. And then we can start doing some farming and kind of chat up. So as you can see, last night I only hit 3,000. The best I've done this week was 1,200, 1,700. Whoa, you just started playing the game? Let me see if she can equip it. So she can. We will put that on her. Just started the game, huh? Really? So I think I do want some spirit on her. By the way, I'm working on the second smart code. As you can see, I've got that to plus 3. I'm going to try to get that to plus 5, get that finished. But right now, we're going to just... You know what? I'm going to give her an accuracy. No. I'm going to give her the coat. And I've been using this. Surprisingly... I've been using this, folks. This is what I've been using. Flag of the Crystal Sanctum, because she clearly needs accuracy. So she's getting a 25 boost accuracy. Now, the ring is definitely better because I get probably more stats. But I also get 87 magic power here. So that's going to boost up her attack power. And so that's what I'm sticking with. I want her to be using the Agi buff. And then, of course, my Augury is going to be using the Bell. She's my tank. I got anti-slash here. Yep, saw that Lolita banner and I was sold. Well, welcome to the game, by the way. Welcome to the game. Welcome to the stream. And yeah, this is probably, in my opinion, the best game on the mobile market right now. There's some competitors, but I feel like this is still the best because you have probably the best. You could probably have the most fun playing this game in terms of doing exactly the things that you want to do, right? This game is very catered to those who wants to, what's the word? Oh, how should I? Those folks who wants to customize. This is probably the best game. So hopefully you'll find a lot of the materials that I put out useful. Of course, there are plenty of good YouTubers out there already. And a bunch of them already have tons of videos that you can take the time to kind of backtrack and go watch some of those videos if you need something specific to be answered. Obviously, you're more than welcome to ask me some questions here. But disclaimer, I'm not like a pro at this game. I just enjoy Final Fantasy games. I enjoy Final Fantasy Tactics. And I'm doing this really just as a hobby to have fun because of the pandemic. You know, I'm very restrictive in terms of hanging out with friends. You know, I can't really go see too many of my friends right now. And even when I do, it's very limited, right? Very limited. Because most of my friends, they don't live in the same city. That's unfortunate, but so this is kind of like my outlet, so to speak. Okay, so let's see here. Let me show you how close I am to finishing her off before we embark in some battles. Hey, Wiz, I found out that cap exceeds 100k least for blue adamantite. I'm not sure what that means, but welcome to the stream. Let's figure this sentence out. I found out item cap exceeds 100,000. At least for blue. Oh, I see what you're saying. Wow, you're hoarding 100,000 items. So I was going to show you, little Leela, and how close I am. I'm needing 139 shards, right? But I did not buy any of my shards, in fact. I have 6,000 free gems, as you can see here. So I still have 1,200 here. Ah, yes. Rain is definitely one of my favorite units right now. Speaking of which, tomorrow I'm gonna put out my top favorite units in the game, and I think I'm a little excited about that because a lot of people know that I love tanks, and I think Rain is super flexible. I think if you watch that review video, you'll see that once you get him maximized with everything, his weapon, right, which hopefully you've gotten right now, because it's actually not too bad to get the weapon this time. He's very flexible. You can use him as a magic tank, which he's really, really good at, by the way. You can use him as a damager, which is what I did in the Porcelain Tower myself. So yeah, he's definitely a very, very good unit. So I have 120 shards. That leaves me to 181 shards, right? So I need 19 shards. And I still got 11 days left. So right now, I'm no longer triggering the Whimsy shop. I'm just going to see if I can get him from the expedition, which I'm having not very good luck this go around. I'm not having good luck at all. See? I got Odoa, which is also a unit I'm building. But I think I've only gotten 3 shards out of this. My fiance, she said she already got like 11 shards. Because she's right now farming green as well for some... What is she working on? What is that unit called? Lucia. She's working on Lucia. So she was able to get more shards of Little Leela than anyone else. So she's got really good luck. But she didn't summon her. So, but that's okay. So that's kind of like my goal. I no longer need to spend gems. This 6,000 is reserved for that 120 shards. But if I can get more than that, then I can save myself 2,000, right? We have 11 days. So if I can somehow manage to pull, you know, more than those 40 shards, then I don't plan on spending the 2K. Because right now it's all about min-maxing in terms of saving some cash. All right. So level 89, not too shabby. I think 89 is kind of basically where you want to be anyways. Level 99 is kind of just put you over the top, so to speak. So Lucia, let's see, Lucia is still far away. But let's do a couple of arena matches because I think my team is actually doing really well. I think it was 2 days ago I actually completely forgot about playing arena. So what I did was I went in here and I just like randomized the first unit that was the first team that was on the top. I just attacked them. And I got like 4 wins in a row, and then I lost the final one. But I only had, I think, 5 minutes to finish 5 matches. So there was completely skipping. So now I'm going to try to take the time to figure out who I want to beat. So I was actually targeting Earth units. It's probably not very smart because I'm running Orlando. But ideally, I think I want to target maybe water units. And fire unit. Not fire. Water units. And earth units. I guess that doesn't really matter. I just want to see if I have the chance to beat him. But so far, Kitufe hasn't presented to me to be the issue. What has been the issue here in the topper or the higher ranking arena is for me is probably the gear. Like I can't get over the hump of some of my opponent's gear. And probably vision cards because their stats are just better than mine. And once you reach a certain point, you just can't kill them. But the Rain Sword, if you just started playing, hopefully you started playing during that box event because they gave us a lot of those materials that you can use to level up your sword. But all right, let's pick an opponent though. Let's stop yapping and pick an opponent. This wouldn't be ideal because he can kill my Agrias, and I have lost. Literally, my entire team has lost to 1 Agrias before. She can hit very hard. This might be reasonable to fight because of the fact that my Sid can actually kill her, even though it's pretty tough. My little Leah can beat up her, and then I still might have trouble taking this team down, so we'll wait a little bit on that team. The other option is I can put Rain here and pretty much just go after magic damagers, but this is always the hard part for me right here, this selecting, the sitting down and really figure out who I can fight. This team I fought the other night and I got slaughtered. Like literally I killed her. And these two just went to town on my guys. Because I can't hit them without, like... My weakness still on this team is I don't have guaranteed hits. That's still my weakness. Actually, let me check something real quick. I think Little Lita has Holy, doesn't she? Let me see something here, because ultimately it boils down to if I have, yes, White Mage. All right, let's see. Let's see if we have Holy. Full Life. Curada. No Holy. So that's her weakness. She does not have a guaranteed hit. She does have Full Life. Wow, that's no good, guys. That's no good. I figure she would have Holy. Why did they remove Holy from her? To make her less powerful, I suppose, because if she had a guaranteed hit, she would destroy a lot of those evasion teams. But by the way, this height 3 Holy is not a guaranteed hit. It has to say guaranteed hit. That's a shame. So for me, I try not to go after evasion teams. That's a problem. So okay, so there's a Holy and then there's height base Holy. Height base Holy is AoE and it's not guaranteed hit. The single target Holy is a guaranteed hit. So there's a big difference. I never take my time with picking an opponent. Probably why I never give. No, Wiz, that's not true, because I feel like the more time you take, the more chances of you making mistakes, right? You pick the opponent you think you can beat, they actually slaughter you. So that's I think you make a valid point, but ultimately it just boils down to gear. So let me see if we can pick like an opponent that I can actually. This will be tough because again, no guarantee hit means I die. I think we have a shot at this team, maybe. But let's see, what do you? So they're anti-slash here, anti-magic. Let me see how much defense he has. 6,070 defense. That's gonna be a little tough to get through that. And I've learned Laswell is pretty tough too. Laswell is pretty tough. Do you think team comp ever trumps gear? No. No. So if you're new to the game, I want to give you a terminology just for my channel. It's called trifecta. And what the trifecta means essentially is your Esper, your vision card, and then your equipment. Those things, in my opinion, trumps over units in the sense of like that's your true end game. Your true end game is that you should be trying to build up nice vision cards. So a lot of times you are, because to get the most stats, you want to maximize your Espers and get your resonances, which I can show you in a little bit here, to be matching the unit that you're pairing them up with. And then of course the equipment needs to be like, you know, as best as possible, because the unit is the same, right? Like you and me, we have the same unit. If we get that unit to level 99 and we maximize her, for example, and everything's the same. Your stats and my stats are all the same. Hey Tapestry, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Level 3 Holy Top. Yes, we were just talking about that. So she has Holy, but is the base off of height damage and is not a guaranteed Holy attack. The single target Holy in this game, regardless of who has it, as long as they are a white mage, they have access to Holy. If they have it, that is a guaranteed hit. And that takes on the element of the unit. For example, let's say Laswell has the ability to use Holy. He's ice, right? So his Holy is going to be ice. I believe that's how it works. And if a light unit has Holy, then their Holy damage is, unless of course, let me double check, unless it says non-elemental. For example, the flares in this game are non-elemental. So let's take a quick, since we're discussing these type of things, this is very interesting. So let's take a look real quick, okay? Flare. I'm taking a look at my Mediana, and I'll show you Flare. Somewhere here. Here it is. See it says deals non-elemental damage. As you can see, this is not color-coded at all, right? Correct. Wiz. If you charm that opponent basically is the same, except they're going to be attacking their own team. How you doing, Dave Thomas? Let me see. I don't know. That's what we're trying to figure out. I don't know if it's always Holy's always light, right? Robert Ackerberg, how you doing, sir? Right. Well, I was just saying Flare is guaranteed non-elemental. I might be wrong. You might be correct, but to make sure we look it up, this is taking a look at here it is, Holy. So that is light. That looks like it's light, right? That is light. You're absolutely correct, folks. So Holy is always light. But say something else. Let's take a look at, to be fair, let's take a look at Sid. I think you're non-elemental. Yes, I think you're correct on those. But let's take a look at abilities. I think that's maybe what it is. Like, because there's abilities and there's spells. So let's take a look at abilities. For example, Hein. See how this is lightning? It takes on the element of the unit using it. If Hein was, say, used by Shadowlings, it will be dark. It will be dark element. So there's an element attached to it. So when you're attacking people, it's something to kind of either memorize or you can just look it up before you attack them. But this game has so many little tiny details. It's so many tiny little details you have to memorize and learn. But let's do a couple of battles. If you guys feel like you have some suggestions, I can attack. Because what was the one that I found that I wanted to take on? Was it this one? Let's attack this team. We ain't got none to lose. Let's just, for the heck of it, let's YOLO it and see how far we can get. So tomorrow I'm gonna do a video which I will wear my costume for. No. See, Tapestry. No. We just established that Holy is always light, but some other skills, like the one I showed you, like Hein for Sid versus the Hein for Shadowlings, it takes on a element of that character. Holy, everyone corrected me, is not wind. Looks like it's guaranteed light. But I do remember people telling me about that though. Somebody was telling me about certain skills, they do take on different forms. So hopefully we can get a heal in. Can we get a heal in, guys? Oh, not enough to kill. Can we get a heal? Okay, there we go. She's back. So that's what makes arithmeticians very strong, folks. They have instant heals. Like instant. No need to wait an extra turn. I think we're winning this. We're kind of winning this because I have a heal coming up right there. Boom. And I know I'm going to miss Shadowlings. And that's the thing. We have to wait for her. We do have to wait for her, what do you call it? We do have to wait for her dodge ability to go away. You know? Yeah, I did get lucky on that against Laswell. Because Laswell is very tough unit to take down. So we got lucky in this fight because my little Lita survived that onslaught in the beginning and I was able to win. We kind of pulled a rabbit out of the hat on that battle, but it was a good win. Okay, let's do another one here. Trump 2020. Oh man, it's a Venera, dude. I can't kill Venera. I can't kill Venera at all. Let's just take a look at her though. They're using this card. I believe this gives luck. Yeah, they're going with the luck route to give more to get more dodge. And she gets a little boost in HP, which is pretty nice. Personally, I still think evasion is better because that debate did come up. People were talking about that debate about to choose evasion or choose luck. And some units definitely can take advantage of luck more. I believe if they have over a certain number in terms of luck, if I remember correctly. Are they going with... So it looks like they're going with assault, which in my opinion, I like assault myself. I have been criticized about the fact that crit is better for her, but I don't know. I personally love assault for her instead of crit, but you know, there's always room for debate on that. So I'm gonna skip that one. That one's pretty tough. I don't think I can beat Venera. I have nothing that can guarantee hit me to kill her. Now, if I had a Kirufe, I would not hesitate to attack that team at all. Agria's luck is so high, she can hit my evasion build who has used Shadowcast. Really? Hey, how you doing, Watt? Yeah, I think I'm late on the video. Let me refresh. No, it's not. It's because it's my uploading, my streaming service has a tiny bit of delay, and that's how it works for all streaming. Hey, stinky person, however. Whoever said crit is better for Vin is smoking crack. So if you guys are new to the channel and you're starting to go back and watch some of my older videos, which is what I like to do, right? If I subscribe to somebody new, I tend to enjoy them very much. I go back and watch all their videos. And so what happens is I did a review on Venera because someone actually, like one of the subscribers actually asked me to review her. So I did. So I recommended using the Assault Mage Masher. And then, of course, one day later, I had like tons of people come onto the channel and make comments about how I don't know what I'm talking about and about how this and that and this and that, and how literally there was like this, I don't know, 700-word essay rant about me. And I felt like it was too negative. And normally, generally speaking, I react very well to criticism. But I felt like this wasn't criticism. This was just straight up attacking me. So I told that person, you know, I don't need you to be here at all. And I subsequently deleted the comments because I felt like it didn't contribute to the community. So of course I started chatting with people about what people thought was better. Some people say crit, some people say assault. I took on the route by recommending Assault Mage Masher for Venera. And I felt like it was a better weapon because I played enough RPGs in my life to know that having a percentage of crit doesn't mean it's better than having more attack power, right? In a lot of circumstances, crit is great, but it's still a guessing game, right? It's a gamble, right? If you have 20% crit, literally that means 1 out of 5 chance each time you're swinging, you have a chance to do a critical damage. And critical damage in this game is only actually 25% more damage. So personally, that's what I say. I did assault. And then this person just decided to go buck wild on me about how I don't know what I'm talking about and that crit is the best in the entire world and yada, yada, yada. And then, of course, other folks supported the idea of critting because they're saying, well, I crit all the time. And I'm just thinking, okay, that's clearly anecdotal evidence. That's not supporting to the conversation at all, because you can't just be like, I crit every day and I crit all the time, therefore you should go with crit. You know, we know it's just a percentage. And, you know, I'm not a gambling type of dude, even though I like playing poker, but I just feel like more attack power means, boom, you get that hit and you kill. Because when you ignore that armor on the armor cleaver, it's tons of damage from the assault, not from the crit. Because if you don't crit, you still want to do a lot of damage, right? So that's how I recommended it anyways. I do all magic on open, never aim or crit. I just like doing straight damage. I'm not big brain enough to make crit works. So that's kind of how I feel, because, you know, it's based off percentage, right? It's literally you flip a coin every time you attack. I personally enjoy accuracy, and then I enjoy accuracy on equipments and vision cards, and I enjoy assault on my melee weapons. And then even the gun, what do you call it? The ROS, right? The ROS for dual gunners and gunners in this game. There was this one guy who posted it in Reddit, and I thought it was very useful. That person actually did math and figured out that assault is better for Lucia than crit, because over time you just do more damage with assault. And so it turns out that weapon, you should be building an assault weapon for get it? Assault weapon. Anyways, I'm a daddy joke guy, but the assault is the best for Lucia because it turns out when you crunch the numbers, it made the most sense. And this is why, like, honestly, when you do content for games, you have to be prepared to take on the trolls, right? Ultimately, that's what it's all about. And if you have a thick skin, then you should be fine. But if you're sitting there dwelling on people's comments, then you probably won't be like succeeding, whatever. Better just get my straight DPNs, get my aim crit from something. Yeah, that's what I was saying, Stinky. Of course, I didn't recommend, because I didn't say things like, well, get your crit, get your accuracy from elsewhere. I think people are just assuming I didn't know what I was talking about. So that's why I got Blade of Grass during FFT2. Yes. In hindsight, I kind of wish I probably should have got that junk all the way to maxed out when I had the opportunity. I'm learning as I go, man. Like, this is one of those games that if I was playing in my 20s, I'll probably like tearing things up, that competitiveness in me and the, I guess the quick thinking in me. Because I used to play competitive fighting games, the fast thinking, the fast twitches in my hands was the way to go when you were young. But dude, I'm in my 40s, man. Like, I don't know why people coming on to me like, imagine if I'm like 50 or 60 years old and I'm still playing these type of games and I'm making content. I get I will be getting a little irritated if people come in here and be like, you don't know what you're talking about, dude. I'm like, dude, I'm old. I'm allowed to make mistakes, right? That's part of growing. That's part of aging process. You're allowed to make more mistakes, and that's fine. I do cede to all those players who are much better than me. I've never claimed, by the way, that I'm a great player. I just claimed that I love the game. That's a big difference between you loving something and being actually great at it. And I think people need to understand that. And I think that's the other thing. Like, you have to be like my guildie, my guild leader, he's in like top, 20 whatever arena. So a lot of the stuff, him and some of my other guildies, they theorycraft and they put it to test. And to me, that makes sense, right? Because I'm learning from them because they have experience. So thank you, Stinky. That makes perfect sense. Like, if somebody comes in here and they're doing really well by having all the access to all the gear and the units in the game, then they're at least showing you evidence, right? You can't just have dudes come in here and because they read it somewhere on Reddit or some forums and then be like, well, this is the gospel. This is what you should be doing. If you're not, you're an idiot. I'm like, well, I don't know who you are. Clearly, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Tater gang, baby tater tate. Okay, all right. Enough of those. Thank you for the love, by the way. I appreciate y'all. But let's find somebody else to fight. And I don't mind losing. That's one thing I'm learning about this game. When I first started playing, I get so irritated when I lose. But now it's like, if I lose, it's okay. It just means I did something wrong. I just chose the wrong opponent. I actually enjoy seeking out this guy. No, when I saw Wiener, I was like, nope, that's not happening. See, that guy knew what he was doing. He put Wiener on defense so people don't attack him. This might be an interesting fight, folks. I have ice, so I'm strong against them. Orlando might take a beating, though. And also, I'm pretty sure my But I'm afraid this might be a battle of attrition. I'm going to attack this team. Wait, wrong guy. I almost misclicked. Let's attack this person because I like fighting against Super Sexy Stern because if I lose to him, I don't feel bad, right? But if I win, I feel good. Anybody knows what team the top 5 class match rankers use? That I am not sure. Beelzeus, will you roll in the Final Fantasy for a bit? Hey, by the way, welcome Beelzeus. If you're new to the channel, new to the stream, welcome. I will be rolling on FF4. I will be rolling for Cecil, and subsequently I'll be rolling for Kain because I think Cecil helps Kain get his weapon, and then Cecil is a paladin, and he's light, and he's a tank, and I love tanks, and he's a bruiser, so I love bruisers. Or you can use Cecil as one of those units that sacrifice himself to make others better. So it's kind of like pretty sweet, right? You can't go wrong with that. See, this is what I'm talking about. I was afraid this might happen. He literally one-shotted my whole team. That was pretty gross. And now he's going to come back when Ayaka joins the fight. This is total dominated. I got totally dominated. How are liking class matches? I have not been playing any of those matches at all. It's based on a time window, so a lot of times I don't remember them. And when I try to play, it's not on, so I don't bother. By the way, this is how you lose a match, folks. I got smoked. He's chasing him down. Yeah, that was terrible. Like, I didn't... If I would have killed him, I would have had a chance, but I didn't kill him. It's just based on luck. It is. It is. I did win Tapestry. I did win that Shadow Links fight. In fact, I won 2 matches, and this is my only loss. So it looks like I'm not climbing too high tonight. 3,600. I might have to spend some arena orbs later in the week if I want to sustain above 5,000, because I think rewards wise, it doesn't make any difference where I stand between 1,001 to 5,000 is 500. The chance of me getting past into 900s is pretty slim, because I seemingly make a lot of mistakes in choosing my opponent, like the one I just had. Because when I sit down and play by myself, it's a little bit different than when you sit down and you try to stream. Because seemingly when you're like, have people focused on you, you tend to make more mistakes. That was brutal, Watt. That was pretty freaking brutal, man. Super Sexy's turn is very strong in this game. Very, very strong. It's really, really scary. Like, it's not a good idea to face him against dudes with really good gear and things like that. But we'll do one more. And then I'll save my last 2 orbs like before I go to bed, because that's when I usually play my arena. Because if you notice that a lot of people play right before server resets so they can get the best ranking. I don't know. People are like min-maxers out there. This I've fallen for before. This is one of those situations where I fall for this before. So this guy's using this to trick you to kill her. And then use these 2 units to take you out. I do have heals, so I'm not too worried about this team. But for the sake of... I'm going to switch. I don't know if this works. I gotta check my resonance. So I need to work on my resonance, as you can see here, right? What I really want to do is get the anti-slashing on my little Leela. As you can see, I'm working on anti-slashing for some of the units that I'm using, because this is right now one of the best anti-slash. So unfortunately, this won't work. This won't work because I don't have the resonance to take advantage of it. So I'm gonna attack this team. These are really good numbers, by the way. That means ideally this guy is probably like 22,000, 1,000 maybe, but maybe a mistake, but we'll see. Regular Stern, he is actually still decent, but regular Stern is not very great in terms of PvP because he's what we will call a glass cannon. So if you're familiar with that term, he's pretty glassy, right? He hits really hard, but he dies very easily. Almost any other unit can probably kill him. But he packs such a good punch in this game, he can one-shot a lot of opponents. But he's kind of like, he's like one of those units that will 1-for-1 your enemy team. And usually that's not a good idea. I don't know if you guys ever play like Magic the Gathering. You don't ever want to 1-for-1 something. Ideally, you want to 2-for-1 them, right? Or more. That guy hits very hard, man. And I missed. I don't know. Why did she run away? Can I get a heal? Okay, alright. So we might be alright. I don't know. So she's surviving. She's clinging on barely. I think this is a loss. This guy is definitely willing out. That is a lot of damage. Can we get a heal? Yes. This is a pretty good fight, by the way. Oh, never mind. Little Leela got one-shotted. We really need to kill that Orlando, man. Can we get that Orlando down, please? This is insanity how their Orlando is hitting me so hard. So to me, that's a trap they set up. They know that their two guys have such good gear, they can like solo my entire team. They have very good gear. Too bad I didn't get to go back and look at his gear. I should have just like take a picture of it to make sure I remember who that was. But since I have it on recording, I can remember their name and kind of go back and look it up. That was kind of bad too, huh? Do I have bells? I do, but the bells is for her. I have it used on her so she can just do like, what do you call it? Status ailments over and over. But that fight was pretty brutal. Clearly, that was a good demonstration of their resonances. Their units have really good resonances. They have really good gear. And probably really maxed out vision cards. But those guys were hitting very, very hard. And they weren't taking as much damage. So the way that worked was they were hitting so hard, it forced my little Lito to play defense rather than offense. Because if I would have actually got Little Lita to get a couple of offensive spells off, I would have won that fight. So the learning lesson would be, I will have to remove this so that she will move to the front lines following her so that she can start casting magic attacks. Because that Sid would have got taken down if Little Lita would have actually landed a hit on him, right? Then the game would have been in my favor because that Warrior of Light will not be able to sustain himself against my healer and extra defensive ignoring. So their trinity or trifecta, as I like to call it, is pretty strong, pretty powerful. Go full anti-slash on Agrius. Yes, they're full anti-slash, and that's why sometimes I don't like to pick those teams. I like to pick off maybe spellcasters for me because that would be easier. Any specific character that you expect? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Any specific character that I'm expecting? Like someone that I'm thinking of pulling? Any recommendation for damage dealers then? Herman, damage dealers, it depends. Let's take a quick look. It really depends on your roster. Like, I don't think there's a true tier list per se, but there is sort of a way of swaying towards specific units that can do damage. Let's do it this way. Let's do it on rarity. And I can only look at what I have, right? Does that make sense? Yeah, that Sid was very strong. I've faced so many of those Sids in my life that they're very OP. So strong attackers, okay? So we're only going physical attackers then. Any specific character you expect? I don't really expect anything from Gumi and Square Enix at this point. I think your guess is as good as mine, but if I was to expect or maybe anticipate units, if that's the question you're asking me, I would really love to see Chrono Trigger. That's my number one. That's my number one collaboration is Chrono Trigger, because I love the design of the art. So if they actually gave me art from those games, I'll be very, very happy. Like I'll definitely try my hardest, you know, whatever that means, right, to get those units. But yeah, Chrono Trigger is my number one. Maybe more Final Fantasy Tactics, because that's one of my other favorite games. And then Final Fantasy VII, I'm okay with if they bring more. But I am looking forward to Final Fantasy IV. David Beltram. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Venom here. Oh, hey, what's up, Venom? Check Discord before going to bed. All right, rock on, man. I will definitely do that. Venom is he's one of my guildies. So let's talk about attackers, since you did ask me that question. Okay. Magus, Dark UR Mage. Yeah, we need that. We still don't have a Dark Mage, by the way. So in terms of attackers, since you just joined the game, I'm going to assume you don't have Final Fantasy Tactics units. Personally, I really enjoy Yerma. She's really good, but her weakness is she doesn't have defense ignore. So she has very raw attack power, but she can't really ignore defense. So she will have to rely on vision cards and such to make sure she can help ignore some defenses in the future. Chinese year of the ox coming. Yeah, I hope they do pay attention to things like that. So right now we're only talking about physical attackers, okay? Lucia is a very good physical attacker. She has defense penetration. She has very high attack power, so she can do a lot of damage. Victoria is actually really good at doing a lot of attack power as well. And she's piercing, so a lot of people don't pay too much attention to piercing defense. Stern is a good attacker, but we talked about how he isn't a very great attacker in terms of taking hits. So he's a bad trade-off in that sense. Gilgamesh, Herman, if you're new to the game, you have to understand Gilgamesh is a premium unit, so he's going to cost double to gain his shards. But he's actually a really good attacking unit. And he's okay as a defensive unit. He can take a couple of licks. But because he can cast haste on himself and his moves deal a lot of damage, but again, in my opinion, one of his weaknesses is he doesn't have defense penetration. But we're going to see a lot of defense penetration in the future. So obviously, this guy probably is one of the best attackers in the game right now, period, because his power is so high. And the vision card that they just gave us can help him ignore defense. So yeah, you saw he slaughtered my team earlier. So he can do a lot of damage. Kitong actually is a very good attacker, believe it or not. His drain life, her drain life is very good. And she also has very high evasion. She is actually a pretty nasty unit to reckon with in terms of PvP. In terms of PvE, most units, if not all units, are good. So I don't think you have to think too much about. But those are in terms of UR that I recommend. Odoa is kind of like Stern, regular Stern. She's really good at hitting you really hard, but she's kind of squishy, right? Really weak. So she's not good at taking hits. This King, he's actually really good at dealing damage, and he's decently tanky. So he's what I would call maybe a semi-bruiser, I guess. He can deal good damage and take good damage. This guy, unfortunately, isn't super tanky. He's more relying on evasion, but he can put out tons of damage. This guy can straight up do a lot of damage. So those are all the physical attackers. In terms of mage units, Rain can deal a lot of good damage, and he can double up as a tank, especially a magic tank. And Mediana is really solid in dealing damage. Little Leela actually is really good at dealing damage. Miranda, man, this unit I really enjoying her. She can deal good damage, and she can take a lot of damage, and she can heal really well. So that's definitely my recommendation if you have her. And by the way, there's a lot of strong fire units, so having Miranda on your side is actually really good. Let's see, other magic damagers, not so much for UR. In terms of MRs, definitely you should build Celia. She's really good. She's kind of weak because she usually gets killed by one hit, but she hits really hard. She can heal really good. Hey Calvin, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Am I late? Am I crazy, or there are no exorcism shards? I'm pretty sure I've seen it in the Whimsy shop. I don't think I've seen it in the regular shop. And then let's see what. Oh, that's another good MR units. You have room in guild. I don't think we do. I'm pretty sure we're full. I can check in a second here though. Shadowlings, I recommend building, period. She is so good. Like, she is really good for PvE content. And if you have really good Trinity items, she is really good for PvP as well, actually, believe it or not. And if you have a chance to get this unit later on, Gafgarion, super good. Super hard hitter. This guy, he probably rivals that of regular Stern in terms of crazy damage. Crazy damage. But he's pretty squishy as well. And as far as his other damagers, then you have to kind of go down to elements. Each element has really good damagers. But tomorrow I'm going to do some favorite units. Kick someone for me. I wish I could. I'm not the guild leader, so I don't have the power to do that, man. I apologize. I do not have the power to kick anyone. Let me see here. Another good hard-hitting units for MRs. I don't have a lot of experience with these other MRs, to be honest. I know Sir O can hit pretty hard. Like if you don't have, I guess if you don't have Orlando, he actually is pretty good, but he doesn't have defense ignore either though. Oh, you do have them? Yeah, they're good units to invest in right now. But if I were you, Herman, if you're not in a rush to build non-UR units, I will hold on for a little bit, because in the future, you probably already know this, but in the future, let me get a better example. We will not be using rainbows anymore for non-UR units. So therefore, it's probably a good idea to save them for later. Yes, Ishto, I was going to say, she is very good actually. She can deal a lot of damage, surprisingly. She can do a lot of damage. If you pick a FF to summon for 1 year, which series would you pick? If I was to pick one Final Fantasy to summon for 1 year, which series would I pick? Final Fantasy, huh? I would say 12. I will pick Final Fantasy 12 as the one I will pick for 1 year. Because besides the original Final Fantasy games and besides Final Fantasy Tactics, I would love to see some Final Fantasy 12 units. Any thoughts on Sasha? So, are you referring to this unit? So I did do a review on her, and she is very, very good for PvE, but not very good for PvP. So that should be enough of an answer for you. Like this game, there are certain units that are just going to be better than others in terms of PvP. And there are certain units that are just not going to be as good for PvP, but really good for PvE. I think for the most part, I would say over 90% of the units in this entire game are all going to be solid for PvE, right? They're all going to be good. We need new SR units. Yes, we do. I agree with that. Why 12? Because 12 has a tie-in with Final Fantasy Tactics. Because it's based in the Ivalice. And at the time of release, it was... How should I say this? It was my favorite game at the time because of the fact that it reminded me of MMOs. The way you play the game, it reminded you of MMOs. The way you travel, the way you did things every day. But you can play at your own leisure. You're not playing like it was an MMO where you have to log in every day and stay competitive, right? It's not one of those games like that. I just love the combat system in that game. And I love the characters. I know people are going to say, you know, 7 is the big boy. But as I stated in my previous videos, in my previous streams, I'm actually not a huge fan of Final Fantasy VII, believe it or not. But while we're doing this, why don't we go farm a little bit, and then we can continue the conversation. I'm at 42 recipes. I need 48, so I need 6 more recipes. Yes, Calvin, that's a good point. Like, I actually didn't know much about Princess Ku. Hey, Ku, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Princess Ku is one of our best players in our guild, believe it or not. She is actually really, really informative in helping me get to become a better player in this game. She is very kind to every guildie. She is very helpful in Discord. Super cool person. Definitely recommend as a guildie for sure. 100%. So yes. Welcome to the stream. This is the first time she's here. So I'm gonna create a room, and we're gonna be farming some platinum maces because I need 8 more recipes. So I'm gonna give you guys some time if you want to play. the passwords on your screen. So I'm good with 12, but they better also give us the gambit system. This AI in this game kills me sometimes. Well, the thing is, like, War of the Vision is not a perfect game, but in my opinion, it's pretty up there in terms of just being a badass game in general, right? I think I've knocked on this game enough in the past, and I think the companies know that the community knows what the flaws of these games are, and I think they're working hard to improve upon all those flaws. I personally don't think it's possible to create a perfect game, because no matter what you think is perfect, there's always going to be someone out there complaining about something, and you can't truly satisfy everyone. So, but I like all the Final Fantasy games, but I never played certain Final Fantasy games, so it's not fair for me to say if they're going to be something I hope to see, because I don't know anything about them. I have no actual personal attachment to a lot of the Final Fantasy games. Like, for example, Final Fantasy 16. Hey, Tao, how you doing? Welcome, man. So for me, it wouldn't be fair for me to say, well, I want to see Final Fantasy 16, even though I never played the game, or Final Fantasy 14, or 13, or 15. I never play any of those games. But I am aware who Noctis is, and I did play with that unit in another game called The Alchemist Code, which is basically this game, except it's more hideous in terms of graphics. But Noctis was pretty cool in that game. Like, he had this move called, I think it was called Tri-Elemental, where he could do like 3 attacks from one attack, and each attack had a different element. I think that's a really clever way of making a unit badass. And I think that would be something I would love to see. And I'm pretty sure they're going to bring Noctis into this game, because it was already programmed into the Alchemist Code. And that's the game that's by Gumi. So I don't see a reason why they wouldn't do a Final Fantasy 15, if you will. Is it 15? With Noctis. And then just have him do the Tri-Elemental. And I think that's something we're probably going to see somewhere down the future, because I don't think they're ready for that Tri-Elemental attack kind of thing yet. You know what I mean? But I think that would be sweet. That would be so sweet. Like, if Noctis was here. Definitely a unit I was summoned for. Because I actually did play with him in terms of this environment, right? The strategy environment. But unfortunately, power creeping and mudflation made Noctis from, like, quote-unquote SS tier down to, like, crappy tier. Because all the new units they brought out in that game really kind of just overwhelmed the older units. And I think that's been a topic of conversation for this game, is that a lot of us realize that the companies are working very hard to make sure we don't go down that road, right? Gumi doesn't follow that road again like they did with the Alchemist Code. And someone kind of killed that game in many ways. Because this game in itself is a competitor, a straight up competitor against Alchemist Code. And if Gumi is willing to kind of, you know, create a brand new product to compete with their own product, they knew what they were doing, so... Yes, I agree. I think 12 was really awesome. Any collabs outside of Final Fantasy you would like to see? Championships. Welcome, Championships. I don't believe I recognize your name. First time to the stream, so welcome. Any collabs outside of Final Fantasy? So I talk about my favorite. Hey, Koi. I was waiting for you, man. I was waiting. Hey, where's Koi at? It's already 9:48. I'm halfway through the stream. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Let's see. I keep saying it. I really want to see Chrono Trigger. I don't know if it's ever going to happen. But every single Friday, we kind of like get a bunch of people in here, you know, enjoying the game together. And we talk about this subject, which collabs. And Chrono Trigger is among like a lot of people's dream collaboration. And obviously Final Fantasy VII, I think Final Fantasy VII is what a lot of people are speculating. A lot of people are speculating 7 is what's going to hit us on the 1 year anniversary. And I'm not like doubting that, right? I'm not doubting that. Because of the fact that Final Fantasy VII Remake is a legitimate thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to push both IPs to get more money. And I think they will get millions upon millions of cash from us if 7 was out. on the 1 year anniversary on JP. And of course, subsequently, we're going to be getting that. And it's a possibility we actually might get Xenogears. Michael, welcome to the stream. I don't believe I recognize your name. So welcome to the stream. Xenogears, yes. I would love to see Xenogears. But believe it or not, I never actually played Xenogears. Kingdom Hearts might be kind of tough. But I think if they did get that, they're opening up a whole new can of worms, right? If we're going to have Mickey Mouse, imagine if we have Mickey Mouse in here. I mean, can you imagine if we saw Mickey Mouse playing alongside Orlando? I don't honestly will ever see that happen, but if it did, then they have to give a lot of money to Disney, I guess. Chrono Trigger is my favorite. I think Chrono Trigger is ranked #1 for me. I would love to see Magnus. I would love to see the Frog Boy, you know. Rest in peace, Multi. Final Fantasy X and 8 would be nice. I don't have any attachments to 10. I don't have any attachments to 8 because I skipped those. I played 7, which I didn't really enjoy. Then I skipped to 9, which I really enjoyed. And then I didn't play 10. I didn't play 11. Then I played 12, which I loved. And then Final Fantasy 12 was the last one I ever played. Eva from Parasite Eve. That will be interesting. Parasite Eve was a great game. No, I'm rest in peace and you're multi-group. Okay, Michael, I got you. All right. Sorry, man. I wasn't sure because, you know, everybody uses rest in peace. But I meant to say welcome to the stream because I'm pretty sure I don't recognize your name in terms of recognizing. Because I don't get a lot of people to come watch my streams every week. So it's easy for me to recognize names that I don't recognize. But I was saying welcome to the stream. Yes, that would be kind of neat, though, to see pretty much... Honestly, like, Square has... There you are. Oh, 91. Very nice. Oh, you guys all got maxed out. I'm still 19 shards away, by the way, to maximizing mine. But Square Enix has so many IPs at their disposal. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought, you know, Eva from Parasite Eve. Oh, YouTube suggested stream. Okay, well, great. Hey, how you doing, Phillips? Hello. Do you do next week rerun for Thancred? I don't know. I don't think they're gonna. I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't think they're gonna give us Thancred because we are still working with Little Leela, right? It would personally. I don't think it makes sense if they gave us new units to try to farm, and then boom, they give us another rerun of a older collab. That doesn't gel very well. So I don't think so. I think we have to wait probably into much deeper into November. I think if we get another banner, it'll probably be Howlet, and then after that, it'll probably be the Final Fantasy 14, if you will, rerun. 150, that's not bad. 150 is pretty good. Question for you, Herman. Do you have Elvira as well? I have to ask that question. I'm leveling Shadowlings because I'm running out of units to level up, and she needs to be level 99 because she is so good. She is so good in PvE. It's ridiculous how good she is. I think next week might be Skull. I think it's gonna be Howlet. Still, I think they might stick to their old schedule. It's gonna be next week. You think so? I don't know. Why would they do that? Why would they torture us like that? First of all, Thancred is a premium unit, so I'm not seeing that happening, to be honest. Personally, I'm not a fan of Thancred anyway, so I'm never gonna get him. I think by the time I get him, they will have to rebuff him of sorts. Because a lot of people want to buff her. Oh, so did you get Elvira then? You say you pulled her. Oh, you actually pulled her. Oh, there you go. Never mind. I read that wrong. Well, congratulations. You have a pretty solid combo. That's actually a really nasty combo. If you run both, because of their instant heals and instant damage and AoEs, that's a lot of damage. But you do have to farm 2 maces. That made it tough. Didn't Scum call before? Did Skull did? I'm not sure. Yeah, it should be Howlet as much. I'm pretty sure Howlet come before Scarlet. Or Scar. Is this Scar or Skull? I'm not certain on that then. You have to correct me. You have to educate me on that, Watt, because I'm not sure. Because right now our entire flow of things is kind of screwed over. I don't want to. It's not screwed over. It's just tweaked big time, right? It's like the continuum, the space continuum is changed. If we're talking about in terms of reference to like Back to the Future, or whatever, we're setting ourselves for a brand new path here, if you will. Oh, if he's no longer. Wait a second. Okay, so if Thancred is no longer a premium unit, then he needs a buff because he's not very good anyways. I don't think he's very good anymore because of how much power increase we have seen over the units that we have. Like, Thancred might die to Super Stern in one shot, most likely. Because he was more of a bruiser type, right? I would say Thancred is probably more of a bruiser type. I'm not a fan of Thancred, so Rain, Ayaka, Ziza, Victoria, Papa Leonas, Engelbert, Stern 2. Yeah, you got a lot of good units. If you have Ziza, definitely build for the bells. Unit releases have changed, but the card releases haven't. Yeah, I think they're keeping that path of the cards because the cards shouldn't change, right? Especially the Espers, because the Espers has the match in terms of quote unquote the meta shift, as everyone likes to call it now. The meta shift needs to stay on par, because if you switch that around, you're going to completely screw up the way the game was designed to flow. Lightning Lee, how you doing? Welcome to the stream there. I don't believe we met, so welcome. Thancred will receive a second mastery along with Gilka, isn't it? So there you go. That will be a buff that he needs, because he is, my friend, in my opinion, not very good. Are you a pharmacist? No, I am not. But there is a viewer who is a pharmacist who is new to the game, and I actually attended pharmacy school. I was in pharmacy school. It seems like ages ago, long time ago, I was in pharmacy school, but I never officially got licensed to be a pharmacist or anything like that. And I don't regret it. So if that was your follow-up question, no, I do not regret not being a pharmacist. To be honest with you guys, though, I don't think it really doesn't matter to me what next banner they bring, because chances are I probably won't pull no matter what. I think I might have to skip Howlet for now and hope that Howlet drops in my lap eventually in the future. Oh, radiology. Well, there you go. That's some big dollars there, and it's a pretty good field. If you obviously you have to enjoy it, but so you could potentially be a big Kraken in this game. Maybe unless you haven't been playing this game and you just started. I'll recommend doing Kraken style in this game, man. Like, just go for it. Pharmacy is 6 years now. Better go with nursing 4 years. Really? Pharmacy is 6 years? No, it's always been 6 years. I'm pretty sure pharmacy has always been 6 years, because you need minimally 2 years prereqs, and then you do 4 years of pharmacy school. Nursing is like 2 years prereqs and 2 years of school, so yes. It's always been like that. Medicine is stressful. The daily one-time elemental unit shard quest has only given my Ryu. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Watt. I'm not a huge fan of that elemental unit stuff. If you think something's too good to be true, you know it's too good to be true. So, well, see, the thing is, the way I look at it is, Thancred is kind of like an outdated version of, say, Warrior Blight, right? Warrior Blight can deal some damage, and very, very bruiser, tanky-ish kind of thing, whatever. But I don't think Thancred is that good anymore. Strike. You mean strike. I used to call it fisting, and then people thought I was being very crude about that. But yeah, I used to call it fisting because I had a fist. But it's strike damage. So what do you think will be the 1-year banner? Lightning, I honestly think it's going to be Final Fantasy VII. I think Pharmacy has always been 6 years. Yes, I concur because that's what I did. Pharmacy. Yes, I agree, Koi. I think sticking to your route is going to pay off a lot harder, a lot better, a lot faster than worrying about units. If you're brand new to the game, think about units. If you've been playing this game for a while, think about the trifecta or the trinity, whatever you want to call it. Guild Battle 63-61. I know. I got 3 stars and I captured that on film, but then Team 2 I got blown out. So I keep my trend is I keep getting blown out on against Team 2. I guess I get too excited and I subsequently get destroyed in match number 2. But maybe a little Leela will help me fix some of that problems. Does it not say fist in the job level? It says strike. It doesn't say fist. Fisting, it's, you know, in this day and age, man, anything you say could be broken down in many ways. So striking makes more sense. Need to save now and know I'm a janitor in radiology department. Well, it is the internet, so I have to believe anything people say to me with a little bit of grain of salt in the background. So it's more than good. What's more than good? Wait a sec. I've seen Strong before. He's gonna get 10 for second mastery, and there's no more cast for blasting zone. You can build him 100% missile resist with what? I noticed I only pull for tanky espers. Yes, I will pull for all espers, to be honest. I think espers it's a very nasty grind for the resonances, but man, they're so worth it once you get them there. Wow, that's pretty amazing if he's getting that huge of a buff. I mean, that makes sense. Before I just wanted to say thanks, Nash Taters. I assume I couldn't get up the tower, so I wasn't going to bother, but your video made me realize I could do it with the unit recover button. Yes, Tapestry, that is actually the way to go. I don't believe there's any players out there that can beat all the stages in one go. It's not physically possible because, let's put it this way, even if you have 10 like super decked out units, you're gonna run out of skills and you cannot complete the 30 floors against that many enemies without having to reset. And that's the reason why you have to reset. Like, I've been resetting every day. All I do is I just zerg whatever the floor I'm having issues with. I just keep zerging, send all my units in, spend a bunch of energy. You know, energy is much easier to get nowadays. And then just wait for the reset, and boom, you should be able to have no problems. In fact, I think my reset is ready. I can show you where I'm at right now. There's going to be a lot of gunner and stripper release after. I read that word as stripper, and you know what's on my mind apparently. But yes, sniper. Sorry, sniper. Lots of gunners and lots of snipers. Not lots of gunners and lots of strippers. Wrong game then, if that was what it is. You're right. We are getting snipers, and then we're going to get Luasha, the fire gunner. She is really, really good in doing damage. Herman, don't worry about it, man. Getting stuck on the tower is not a big deal. Because you're a beginning player. The game it's very generous in that sense that when it comes around, you have more access to the same items that you could not obtain the first time. Most of the players in this game have already experienced that, myself included, where the very first brutal challenge they gave us, not many of us were able to beat it. But then the second time it came through, people were beating it like, you know, with their eyes closed. So yeah, David, I never want to go down that route. I never want to assume. But Square and Gumi, they can keep track of things fairly easily. So if people are cheating or whatever the word is, they usually, fix those problems pretty easily. Great tip, Watt. That's a great tip. I do that myself. Switching your sub jobs allows you to have more access to more skills. Yes, that's a great tip there. But right now I'm blasting through it, so I haven't done it. But yes, for those of you who are having issues with floors, it's a great idea. This game is approaching 1 year anniversary on the Japanese server and approaching 7 months on the global server. Yeah, if you're new to the game, don't think too much about things you can't beat. Like, don't dwell on it. If you can't beat it, just ignore it. The game is very generous in bringing what we call reruns. They just keep bringing them back over and over, so you have more chances to get everything. Yes, you're right, Michael. If you retreat, you do restart the attempt. You lose nothing, but bear in mind, if you retreat too much and you care about your ranking, whatever that is, then it does keep track of retreats. I will give 2 minutes to give someone else an additional chance to join that 4th slot. So if you get retreat, retry. Yes. If you're having issues, just quit. You get a game over screen. They'll keep track of it, but for me, I don't really care because I don't even know what the bonuses are or whatever. So it doesn't really matter. But yes, if you're having a trouble, you can just reset it because sometimes RNG can screw you over. Like today, I beat one of the floors with 2 tanks, but for some weird reason, I lost both tanks, and I decided that I was going to continue, and I already beat the stage. Subsequently, on the next stage, I realized I had no tanks. And I threw my entire roster at the stage, and I still couldn't complete it. So now I have to wait for the reset, unfortunately. I don't know if Wales can do it, though. I don't know. I honestly don't think you can complete all the floors without deaths. That seems to me almost impossible. Because if you got a KO unit, right, and then you resurrected them, does that count as no loss? That's a possibility. But, whatever. The thing is, I've seen people with no moves. Like, how does that work? I'm not exactly sure how that actually works. If you complete a tower with only using bare minimum of moves, to me, that doesn't make any sense. You can't one-shot units in this game. That, I feel like it's something shady there, so. Like this guy, like the leader has used only 5 moves. How's that possible? I don't believe that at all. The only thing I could think of is they just literally sit there and wait. They just wait, and they don't actually move on the blocks. I don't know. I'm famous. Please don't judge my free-to-play sexy stern. Okay, I'm not judging. No one judges here, man. That's pretty good damage, 2,300. Hey, I'm still rolling with Shadowlings, man. 28 is really rough. It's literally a joke if you have good lightning unit, but if you don't, it's a rest in peace. It is. I think I could have soloed that junk with 1 Sid, and then, like I said, 1 Sid and 1 healer. I think I could have soloed it. No deaths, because Sid can tank really well, surprisingly. Imagine if we actually have a legitimate lightning tank. Which I'm pretty sure we don't. Actually, I need to look that up. I don't think we have a lightning tank. Do I get a? Can I get a concurrence in that in the chat? Like, is there a lightning tank you guys know of? Who can tank that's lightning? Did someone say my name? No, lightning Lee. No, not you, man. Not no. Are you a tank? I don't think we have lightning tanks. Isn't lightning the name of that character from Final Fantasy? What is it? Final Fantasy 14? Well played, by the way, Lightning Lee. I think you did that on purpose. Yeah, Lightning is a character. I think they can bring her. I think she'll be a fun unit to have. Lightning attacker, maybe a bruiser. Welcome, Lord. I don't recognize that name either. So we do, but she's an MR. Really? Who? Ravis? Ah, Ravi. I call her Ravi. She's a tank, huh? You just gave me some ideas. Maybe I should build her. We need some lightning tanks. Yeah, that's smart. Like, that's what I do. I build a bunch of like weak healers, and I just bring them in, and then have them heal my team. And if the enemies kill that unit, I just let it die, turn into a crystal, and then my stronger units can eat the crystal and... Excuse me, I got the hiccup. Then they can move forward to the next stage, you know, at higher health. Ugh, my Blinkstern? Man, my Blinkstern, let's see. I just got him recently, so to be fair, I don't have too many chances to get a Blinkstern build. Even though we do have the banner, I can pull more for him, but nah, man. I'm gonna have probably drop like a couple of 100,000 Visiors to try to get him fully maxed in this week, but I did get lucky, by the way. I did pull a second copy of Blinkstern. So that means I will be plus all the shards that we got for free. I think I'm on Limit Break 2, maybe? Limit Break 2? Any thoughts on the new vision card from Final Fantasy 14? Oh man, that's a good question. What is the vision card from Final Fantasy 14? I have no idea. Is that on JP right now? Because I'm not sure. I will not be able to answer that question. But you do ask a great question, since I don't know. That gives me the feeling that I need to go look that up. Actually, you know what? Let's look that up right now. I have my phone. What is it called? Let me see here. Final Fantasy 14. Vision card. If you know the name, you can shoot it in there, but light attack up, I think. Okay. Since we're waiting on Steve's, I got some time. My eyes, I got pretty good peripheral vision here. I'm not seeing it. Do you guys know the name? Demon Wall. Oh, is that what it is? Demon Wall? Yeah, Demon Wall I think is a must own. That one is really, really good. Dark Bringers. There we go. Never mind. Dark Bringers. Is that new? Because that wasn't there the first go around, was it? I'm assuming that's a UR. Demon Wall is Final Fantasy IV. Hi Nash, glad to see you on live. Hey Edwin, welcome. I don't believe we met, so welcome to the stream. I'm looking up Dark Bringers. Dark Bringers. Wait, is it Scions of Shadow? Is that what we're talking about? Or is that's something else, isn't it? Never mind. No, Scion's Shadow is something else, I think. He says Darkbringer, but it's not showing up on Black Rebellion. That's not the new one. Okay. So let's look up Black Rebellion. Black Rebellion. There it is. Found it. It's this one, Nash. I found it. Black Rebellion. Really, there's one instance before they had a Demon Wall. No, I think Demon Wall is the different one. I've seen some players that have the Darkbringers launch event. Darkbringers vision card? I think that's the first one. Black Rebellion is this new one. Wow, this card looks amazing. This came out just a couple of... Yes, this... So... Okay, so... Dark Rebellion came out the second go around with the rerun. Party ability attack plus 50%. Effects magical attack power plus 30%. What? So this is basically a one package deal for physical attackers and magical attacker. But it only has two. It doesn't really have anything else. What is Second Judgment? So I don't know if that's great or not. It seems like it's just another better version of the Ifrit vision card, right? Because the Ifrit is already at 50% of physical attack power. So if that's the case, then I'm not really super impressed. Even though bestowed effect is 30% magical power, it seems like a very good supplemental card for the team. Oh man, look at you! You got this thing too. Looks like you got your Super Stern decked out. Yeah, that's the flexibility of the game. You can kind of switch your sub jobs and everything else. So one thing I did for the tower, when you send your scrubs for zerging, I don't think it really removes the enemy's skills. You know how the enemy has a certain number of skills? I don't think it resets that. Because I ran it over 15 times against the stage where Lilith is on. And she casts the spell where she raises her hit max HP 6 times. I'm pretty sure you won't get 4 of those or 2 of those. So unfortunately, it does not reset their skills. So it's not a good idea to do that. But it does drain their TP. So once they have no TP, they actually can't cast anything. They have to physically come up to you and smack you in the face. So that's not the best strategy in the world, to be honest, right now. So yeah, unless that was fixed. I think that was hot fixed. Because I think I made that recommendation the first time when the tower was introduced. And I thought that was a good strategy because you can just level up all of your scrubs and just keep zerging the enemy units. Subsequently, if all the enemy units use up all their skills, they have no skills to attack you. Then therefore, they have to physically just go up and melee you for all of them. But I think they fixed it for this tower, so... I'm telling you, man, Square Enix does pay attention to the community, I think. Only level 2 and like I was saying, no shards in the shop. Yeah, there's no shards in the shop. I think you're right. Level 2, it's probably not going to be good enough. You're probably going to have to run some whimsy shops for a whole week. You gotta trigger them as many as you can, and you have to buy up every single one. You will need 275 shards, man. So, yep, you gotta go all out for that. Am I going all out for Final Fantasy IV? No, I'm not. I don't think I want Rosa. And I think I'm only going for Kain. And if they didn't change anything from the JP version, then unfortunately I'll probably have to go for Cecil as well. Because of the fact that the weapon for Kain comes from the raid, or not the raid, excuse me, the box event. And I was told that it only costs half the price. So I don't know what's the facts right now. You know, given the history, what the company has been doing, then I don't really know what they're going to be doing in terms of for global. So right now I cannot speculate, but I can't honestly say I want Kain. He looks cool. He's a spear user, and I don't have too many of those. And I think for me, it kind of fits my playing style. I like dark units. I like dark units, and I like light units. I like those the most in this game right now. Because all the other gacha games I ever played, they generally speaking highlight dark units and light units a lot more. Right? They're considered more like premium units. But in this game, it doesn't work that way. But they have a theme going for light units and dark units. Dark is all about offense, and light is all about defense. And I'm a huge fan of defense. So I'm drawn towards the light units, but I also enjoy the dark units for the fact of balancing out the power on my team. And then I kind of nitpick through the normal elements for units that I like or I enjoy my playing style. So that's a very specific, Watt, that's a very specific thing you're going after. Does anybody know the best subclass for Lucia? Welcome, Luke. Luke, if you are new to the stream, welcome. I don't recognize your name, so welcome, welcome. The best subjob for Lucia. I think it depends on what you want to do. If you want a guaranteed hit, you want to pick the subjob that has the guaranteed hit. I'm El Kanda. Man, that name, your name seems like I've spoken to you before, so. But welcome to the stream. I see a lot of brand new names in stream, so in chat, I mean, excuse me. Welcome everybody to the stream. Support Leela or Magic Leela? That is a good question as well. Depends what you got going on, right? I think the safe answer would be depending on what other units you are running and what you are running them for. PvP, I will personally say Magic if you're going after killing Kitofe, and then support if you have better damage dealers than her. I think that's the safest answer I can give you, and that's probably my honest opinion. At least natural instinct, that's my answer to that. But for PvE, definitely like support all the way, man, all the way. Push her all in and support. She heals so fast, and if you have like leftover units you need to finish off, then she can go in and do the cleanup. Love the content, sub earlier this week. Thank you, Luke. Welcome aboard. Yep. Thank you for the support. Like Little Lena has done me justice in terms of the tower. Like she was really crucial in I think couple of the floors. I thought I was gonna get wiped, but her instant heals brought my whole team back. And I use her for support, so I have the full life resurrection. And so I brought literally my entire team back. Like I had one death, resurrected that unit, and then full heal all my other units. And I was able to continue on the fight. So Arithmetician, very overpowered in terms of PvE content, I feel like. And she's basically a different version than Eldira, right? Eldira doesn't really have a lot of like good support skills, but Little Leela seems to be more leaning towards the healing side as a unit, while still packing a punch in terms of damage. Whereas Eldira is pretty much straightforward, packing a lot of damage, and then heals are more like a bonus material for her. And that's how I feel. I feel like Leela is probably the best healer in the game. I think Leela is probably the best healer. Edwin, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome. Is Leela the best healer in support at the moment? I feel like she is the best healer in the game right now, yes. So the original timeline Leela was supposed to be released was after Rosa came out. Rosa was going to be the best healer in the game, from what I was learning, to make her to be the attraction in terms of summoning for her. Ayaka has been one of the best support in the game, period. But because of the fact that Ayaka has a instant heal as her limit break, right? That's why she's so good. And on top of it, she's very fast. She can deal a lot of damage. But then when Little Leela came around, Little Leela has instant heals on almost all of her heals, unless you're using the heals as a white mage, which you shouldn't need to do. So therefore, Little Leela has taken over as the best healer. So Michael hit it on the head. Like, Ayaka does really good damage. I've done like 3,000, 4,000 damage, I believe, with Ayaka. So Ayaka is more of a potent puncher if you need her to be, still packing all the support package in one body. Sophia, welcome to the stream. M1, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, and range on LBLE is better than Rosa. Exactly. So Rosa was supposed to take over as the best healer, and Little Leela was supposed to take over as the best healer later on. But on the global server, we have it reversed. So unfortunately, I don't know why they did it that way, because that means I can skip safely on Rosa without having to think too much about it. I mean, the only thing is, if you have an attachment to Final Fantasy IV, you know, you grew up in that era, you play that game, you love that game, my suggestion is go after all those units because you love them. But if you have Little Leela, you don't really need Rosa per se, even though obviously different elements, of course, right? You want ultimately every unit in the game. You know, it is a hero collector in that sense. But for everyday purposes, you don't need to have 20 healers, right? The only time we really need to have access to 20 healers would be Porcelain Tower. But Porcelain Tower doesn't roll around once a week. So it's there once every 3 months, it seems like. Every 3 months we get the tower. It's a great way to measure, to see how far you have done in terms of progression. So I think Rosa is an easy skip now if you have Little Leela. But if you have attachment, again, reiterate, if you have attachment, then go for her. What's your fantasy lineup for PvP? Fantasy lineup, huh? It depends on what you mean. Like, do you mean PvP as in match play, PvP in Guild Wars, or PvP in Arena? You have to be very specific because we have 3 separate things for PvP. Yeah, you're right, championships. They have to do something. That's what I was saying. Like, I don't know what their decision making was in terms of marketing. If since they injected Little Leela into the lineup, they have to, because they know, we know what's going on, right? They know, we know as consumers, we do our research. So we figure out, okay, is Rosa now worthy of summoning? The answer will be no. So they have to do something for us to consider pulling for Rosa, I think. Alright, so Lightning, let's go ahead and do one by one then. For Guild Wars, I think I would definitely go with, this is my dream lineup. KOR Stern with everything the best, right? Assuming since this is fantasy, everything would be the best. KOR Stern as offense. My tank will be Agrius. And then my third unit will be Little Leela. That would be my 3 that I would pick. those 3 units are going to be very flexible in terms of defense and offense. In terms of arena, I don't think I have dreamed, because arena is a different animal altogether. You know, since you get to pick and you get to see what the enemy weaknesses are, you don't have to have 3 dream units. It could be literally anybody you want, and you can go to town on people. For actual match play, since I don't have enough experience to say otherwise, but I will have to say pretty much I will go with 3 thieves with the highest agility possible in the game. Then I will just go and I'll go charm, 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 and that should be game, pretty much. Do I have Halloween Leela? Yes, I do. I had to unfortunately spend a couple of pennies to get Little Leela, because M1, if you follow my videos last couple of weeks, if you haven't seen it, I'm not going to ruin it for you, but my summoning was pretty bad. Match. I haven't really played any of the matches. Like, I have to say, I don't really care about PvP. Like, I think Arena will be the highest. No, that'll be the farthest I would like to go. I mean, granted, guild battle is all about, you know, being in a good guild and socializing with people. So I think I don't mind participating in it, but match play is not my cup of tea, so I don't really think too much about it. Zombie Dude is actually very, very good in terms of party. I would honestly say Zombie Dude is probably really good at PvE. I think Zombie Dude is actually really good at PvP and PvE, but if I was to pick him, I would probably pick him for PvP more so than PvE, because he's more of like a bruiser, and PvP, generally speaking, favor bruisers. His AI isn't too good. No, not really. Like, he can deal some good damage, and he can take some damage, but I don't feel like he offers anything special to the game, right? Keto Faye already has all that covered. So I feel like Zombie Boy is really just a redundancy, in my honest opinion. And there you go. Championships kind of hit in the head. Like, ultimately, no matter what happens, it boils down to how the programmers program the AI, right? No matter how good of a unit it really is, if they have bad programming, they're not going to shine. If they have good programming, even if we think they're a bad unit, but they play really smart on an AI level, then they're going to be a really good unit. Like Salir, supposedly she was one of the best units in terms of AI, but she's so squishy. I don't fear her. I have never feared her. But she's really good for PvE though. Like, I still don't have any issues fighting Salir. I never have. You know, if anything, Salir wasn't a unit that caused my downfall of my team. It was because of how powerful the other units were. But I guess you could say Salir is old news, because seemingly is old news. That was like, what, 3-4 months ago, maybe? But I still think Salir is definitely an easy unit to build, because she's MR. Like, but has a UR damage power capabilities. I still use her, believe it or not. I still use Salir. Like, unfortunately, she dies literally every single time I use her, so kind of sucks in that way. I feels bad. Like, hopefully, like, some of the future mages don't have that problem, but I guess you wouldn't call them a mage if they were tanks. That's why Kyufei is so good, right? She's a tank mage, which is unheard of in other RPGs. Just imagine a tank in real life. A tank is bulletproof in damage and armor and has nuclear weapons or maybe rail guns as their arsenal. How are you going to defeat that tank? Like, that's basically what Kyufei is. She's firing rail guns. She has a rail gun on her tank, and she has bulletproof armor, right? Man, you can't take that tank down. Halloween units alone make some good units. Hey, well said there. Well said. I think little Leela was an attraction for me right away when I found out that her heels and on top of her design is what got me. Like zombies, I mean, I'll be honest, like I hate zombies because we've been dealing with zombies for like how many? For a whole decade. Like, come on, man. Like The Walking Dead, now they have like 30 versions or 30 spin-offs of The Walking Dead. Metal Gear? What are we talking about? Metal Gear is owned by Konami, man. We're never gonna see Metal Gear. Nice bug. What does that mean? Nice bug. I want to say thank you, but I don't know what you mean, nice bug. Oh, nice mug, you mean? Let's take a closer look. This is the Hello Kitty. No. This is Hello Kitty. What's it? Wait. Oh my God. What is that? No, this is all Hello Kitty. I thought I had the other. What is that other? Yeah, it's right here. What is that? What is that character's name? I don't remember her name. The one with the bunny ear things. Thank you, by the way. I actually really enjoy Hello Kitty. By the way, Hello Kitty doesn't have a sex. Did you know that? Hello Kitty is older than me, believe it or not. The Walking Dead. I know. I watched so many zombie shows and zombie movies over the last decade. I'm all zombied out, and that's why I was like, eh. You said tank with nuke and rail guns. That's what I'm saying. That's what I feel like Kitufe is. Every time I fight her, I feel like I can't kill her. Kuromi? Is it Kuromi? Wait, hold on. I think it is Kuromi. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not that versed in terms of Hello Kitty. Let's type it in, because that's what nowadays is all about. Is that her? No, it's not. It's not Kuromi. It's not. It's the other one. My Melody. That's what it is. My Melody. That's My Melody right there. See? That's My Melody. So when we were in Japan a couple of years ago, we went to the Hello Kitty shop and they had a life-size Hello Kitty in My Melody. I mean, Hello Kitty is very expensive, by the way. If you collect Hello Kitty stuff, it's very expensive. Little Lita was just a more easy obtainable version of Eldaira to me for farming like this. Yes, you're right, Michael. I agree. If it wasn't for the safety net of guaranteed unit, I probably would not summoned at all. Like I would just have to unfortunately skip. I hate the ability of. I mean, I dropped a tons of gems to try to get her, and unfortunately. You know, those of you who watched that video knows the ending. For those of you who have not, you're more than welcome to go check it out. It's only it's only from last week, so the video is obviously there. So, oh man, so she was, or it was definitely taller than me. So I would say maybe 6 feet tall. 6 feet, right? Sorry, I'm an American, so I have to use feet and inches, which is ridiculous because the rest of the planet don't use those. So yeah, about 6 feet, because like the head of Hello Kitty is above mine. I'm like around 5'8" or let's see, how many centimeters is 5 feet? So I will be I'm like 1.6 something meters, maybe height wise. So yeah, maybe like 1.772 meters. If I had Eldaira Max Limit Break, I never would have picked during Halloween. Well, Michael, I would still pull for Little Leela because Eldara, I feel like it's a different component to the game. Okay, finally I hit 49, folks. Finally. Eldara is a different component to the game, in my opinion, compared to Little Leela, right? Because one, we have to think about the element. So right there, there's your thing. Two, we have to think about their trust masters. Three, we have to think about the fact that Little Leela is like the future, right? In today's video on Friday Free Thinking, I talk about the future. We have to use elements. We have to use a bunch of units of the same element to go into battle. And a lot of those units you need to have, what do you call it? A lot of those units you need to have are going to have master ability. That's what I call leader abilities, meaning that they will boost up other members of your team, right? Oh yes, Tapestry. Very, very, very good question. So tomorrow I'm going to be making a video out since tomorrow's Halloween. My video for the day will be of me wearing my costume when I record the video. So I will show you tomorrow. But it's not really a surprise. I think I already mentioned it before, but I'm gonna be doing a theme which I will just reveal tomorrow. It's not really a surprise, but it's a good one this year, I feel like. Yeah, but I have a lot of other units I feel like. Yes, you're right, Michael. I mean, of course, there's a lot of redundancy in this game, right? So that's kind of like that's a given, but Little Leela brings something new to the table that we haven't seen before, which is the leader ability. Giving your other win units 10% HP can actually make a big difference. JP meta is now using both Little Leela and Eldar. Exactly. That is the trend right now. The meta shift in JP is that the dual arithmetician. Yeah, Salir is insane. Salir is insane in terms of supporting unit. You know, like she rivals that of a Ayaka, but unfortunately, Salir is so damn squishy, and there's just not many ways around it. There are just not many ways around avoiding her dying unless you put her so far back, and that's hard to do, you know, like that's very hard to do. Especially I think in that one floor that we have to fight those the snake women. You're confined in that tiny area. You're going to get hit unless you. So what I figured out was I actually blocked those teams off using the elevation, right? I had this one unit, she was on the bottom of the steps, and for some weird reason no one can reach her in terms of hitting her. And so since all those units were weak to magic, I just sat there and picked them all off. And surprisingly, at the end of that battle, I only used Mediana. She soloed the entire floor. She stood in that one step and she killed every single unit on that floor by herself. I mean, you could argue that Little Leela is a little bit of power creeping, and I wouldn't deny it. But at the same time, she's bringing new things, right? New things, but she doesn't make any of the healers irrelevant. If you did not own Little Leela, you can beat the game, so to speak, with grace. You can beat the game with Naya, right? You can. You don't need to have Little Leela in order to say conquering the game in terms of PvE. But we're not talking about power creeping in terms of pure PvE, right? We're talking about across the board. So in PvP purposes, Little Leela definitely can shine a lot more so, right? But I can concur that she's also very powerful in PvE, so she was definitely, in my opinion, a worthy investment for the game. Like this game is like, seriously, I think of it in terms of investment now. I don't think in terms of just like you know, entertainment anymore because, you know, my channel right now is all about, hey, Asher, how you doing? Little Lita has less power than Mediana. Yeah, she does. She doesn't hit as hard as those other units, right? That's not her goal, is to punch you in the face really hard. Her goal is to do some damage, chip away at you, and then if you don't kill her, she's going to heal really fast for a lot. And she is just hard to overwhelm. I guess that's the best word. Like, it's very hard to overwhelm her. Because it's very hard. If you don't kill her one shot, in terms of like a team versus team, she's gonna flip the table on you. In other words, she's gonna be very hard to overcome once she builds momentum. And you can't say that about many units in this game, right? Like, she turns the tide of battle by herself. Do you recommend using Aruran Dales Raka? Welcome to the stream. Do you recommend using this current Runestern banner to try and get him? Well, here's the thing, right? So because it's a premium unit, so therefore you're going to have a lower summoning rate. And on top of it, there's another unit that's fighting for that boosted rate on this banner, right? So it's Runestern, I believe Frederica, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right? It's Frederica and Runestern. So when you're rolling the dice, chances are you're probably going to get more Fredericas than Runes. But if you do not own Runestern, it is a good opportunity to go for him right now. The best time to get Rune was during the time he was first released, because if I'm not mistaken, there was no other units fighting for that one slot in terms of boosting rates. But right now, the chances of you getting him over Frederica is actually cut in half. So my guess is if you need Frederica, it's a great opportunity to try to pull for KOR. But, you know, it's RNG, right? I can't tell you if it's the best time because RNG clearly is the ultimate indicator at the very end. But from the pure perspective of percentages, you're still going to have a much better chance of pulling Runestern. Actually, you're right, M1. He did fight for regular Stern. Oh my god, I think I even made a comment about that. You're right, dude. You got me. Regular Stern was in a banner with him. See, this is why what I'm saying was I'm old and I tend to forget things very easily. And this is why people are always there to remind me of the facts. So yes, in that sense, your chance of getting Runestern, technically speaking, is the same. But if the question you're asking me is to get more copies of him, then no. Clearly, that's not a good gamble. Hey, Alpha, how you doing? Alpha. Seems like half the guild is in the chat tonight, huh? I want to thank the guild for the support. A Quicken Little Lila can AoE Holy twice. Oh my god, that's crazy. Do I have Quicken? I need to get Quicken. I don't think I have any Time Mage leveled up on my main account, surprisingly. Also, Runestern had free daily shards when he came out, correct. So, is it the best time to build him? No. Is it the best time to pull him? Yes. It's equal chance of pulling him now compared to when he first came out. Thank you for the insight. I do not have him yet. So there you go, man. Or woman or man. I'm sorry. I apologize ahead. I don't recognize the name, so I can't say, you know, all that. So what I'm going to say is, yes, this is the best time to pull for him, yes. Because your percentage is there. You do have the extra boosted percentage. I wish you luck if you are going for him. I got mine for free from, I think, one of those bonus pulls. You never know, right? You just never know when you might be blessed with something like that. But again, that's RNG for you. No one can predict that. All we can do is remember the percentages and start to gamble, all right? You just gamble, right? You pray for the best. So far, I had insane luck in pulling But when little Leela decided to say no, 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 Nash, you're not gonna get me. I can. There's nothing I can do. Your summon videos are the best. Thank you. Most of the reactions, I would say all my reactions are not fake. They're all real. Like, if I react the way I reacted, that's honestly at that moment, that's how I felt. Thank you, Tao. I'm not, like, a couple of weeks ago I was pretty down, but the last couple of weeks I've been feeling really good. This week I've been kind of busy because we've been doing a lot of doing different things for my fiance's birthday. That's why. Oh, nice. Gilgamesh. Yes, that's a great unit. He is ranked really high on the JP server, but there's not many reasons why he's ranked that high. Yes, Cabbage does have the Zen Buddhist background, though, right? If that's his religion or whatnot, or wherever he's drawing inspirations from. And he's not shy about sharing that with us, which is kind of nice, too. I got Halloween Leela, but we'll probably get her LP. No, man, you got plenty of time. You still have 11 days. You still have 11 days, and the only shards you missed were the ones from last week, which will be 35 shards, which isn't really that bad at all. You can make that up so easily. You shouldn't have any issues, Asher, unless, of course, you're not, wanting to spend or whatever. Now, again, I can't comment whether or not you should spend money, because that's not my place to tell people how they should spend their money. I always say this, though. We earn money, therefore we should spend money. So spend on the money things that you get the most enjoyment out of, because life is short. You can't take money with you. You can have $1 billion in a bank account, but if the higher ups up there says, nope, this is your last days on earth, then that $1 billion can't travel with you. The Immortal Super Meta. So we're talking about Exorcist plus a Gaion. By the way, I will have to get a Gaion because that card is stupid good. Since I'm skipping the Exorcist, I should just get a Gaion. A Gaion applies to everyone, if I'm not mistaken. Whereas Exorcist, only realistically speaking, is the addition for KOR, right? So. And the shop actually has the Little Leader shards periodically, unlike Exorcism. Correct. You can ask them to bury with you. Yes, in my culture, okay, I still do it. Like, my ancestors, we still burn the money so they can spend it, according to whatever religion it is, whether it be heaven or wherever the eternal resting place for them. In Chinese culture, they burn like paper cars, they burn like paper clothes and money, paper money, whatever, so they can have all the luxury goods. It's pretty weird by my standards, but yeah, I can put that in my will and say, hey, burn everything I own, like burn all my Transformers, burn all my Lego, and then let that go to heaven or whatever with me. Gilga is strong because he can mutata you, or he will mutata you instead with cooking. Yes, Gilga he can take laps around you. So if he quickens, he can Excalibur you 2 consecutive times. And I don't think many units can live through 2 Excaliburs with defense penetration. Yeah, I'm definitely skipping the Exorcist for the robot, because I need my time to recuperate my Visiors to try to get maximized a Garion, whatever that name is. That's such an odd name they created. Well, I don't have too many of those to have them come with me. That might be an issue, but yeah, it won't be weird when you're the only one. Well, if that's a real thing, right? If this is a legitimate thing, then I would assume that, I don't need those things. What do you need those for? Like, it's not like there's shops and bars and stuff you can just start slapping money down and get wasted, right? Up in afterlife, whatever that is. And because there are so many religions out there, you know, I just like to use the word afterlife because seemingly that could be something that can offend others. But, you know, generally speaking, I don't like to elaborate on those things. But yeah, you know, if that is a thing, you have to ask yourself, do you really need all those things, right? If you're a spirit and you can travel dimensions, why would you need anything at all? And if it's truly eternal life, then you actually have infinite time. So therefore, you don't really need anything. At any given moment, you can go grab something that you really need. Again, all of us will hopefully eventually figure all those things out, but not something that we need to really like take it seriously, you know, at this point. I feel like we can joke around about it, but you know, talking about too serious is when I walk away. But a Gaon from Final Fantasy IV. Is that what that is? Okay, I have no idea what that is. Was that a robot or something we have to fight? Because seriously, Final Fantasy IV seems like an eternity ago for me. So Final Fantasy IV will mean I must have encountered that when I was playing with Cecil and Kane and all that stuff. Yeah, I honestly do not remember much. Because that's one of those games I never play like... I never played too much. Like, I didn't play like overwhelmingly amount of Final Fantasies. But for me, I was really into Final Fantasy Tactics. Then I was into 12 for a little bit, and then that was it. I walked away from Final Fantasy altogether, really. In fact, I pretty much walked away from console gaming, I think. I don't remember, honestly. Like, you guys definitely know way more than I do. November 8 announcement. Onion Knight. What is the November 8? Are you talking about November 8 announcement in terms of for global? You're talking about right after Halloween special. On global, I think on global I would probably venture to guess and say Howlet is my guess. Unless they decide to flip Howlet and Scar or Skull, whoever they want to call it. Or maybe they want to insert Luasha, because right now we just got Earth and we got Wind. So they have to give us a different element. I don't think Howlet fits in. They have to remove Howlet. I think Howlet needs to be kind of pushed back. Right? So I think they need to give us Fire, or Scar, or Skull, or whatever that unit is. It's very hard to kind of sit here and like predict in terms of names they're going to change to, right? So my guess is not Howlet, someone else. Or they could just give us Final Fantasy XIV rerun. That will make sense. And then push Final Fantasy IV a little bit farther back, say maybe to Christmas. I think that will make sense, giving us like that big chunk, like that 3 weeks of Final Fantasy IV for either Thanksgiving or Christmas. And the other speculation is, are we going to be getting Christmas units now? Because we thought they wouldn't give us anything special for Halloween, and boy were we wrong. So they gave us Halloween units, so I think it's possible that they will give us Christmas units. Therefore, it makes perfect sense to have Final Fantasy IV for Thanksgiving for us, right? That will make sense. We're very thankful. But seriously, Nash, that you should play Final Fantasy X since you say you haven't yet. Great music, great characters, very well written story that ties in the world and themes and cringy laughing scenes. Thank you. All right. Honestly, when I saw 10, I didn't enjoy the art. I didn't enjoy the character design, and that was the reason why I never gave it a try. And to be honest, I have tons of games. I have well over 400 video games, like hard copies, ranging from Nintendo all the way to modern gaming. And I stopped collecting games because I realized I do not have the time to play games. Like, I don't have the time to sit down and you know, have my man cave full of different consoles, because that was something I wanted to do. I just simply do not have the time to do it. But I think a lot of those games are on Steam, so I probably, you know, play a little bit, a few hours, you know. That would be something I'm willing to do. But 10 never, honestly, like 10 never actually attracted me to Final Fantasy. I'm playing 422 now. My girl is fighting alone like 30 turns ago and she does not die. Yes. Yes. That's hilarious. Oh, you're talking about that. I think it's going to be Zazan, man. Zazan is going to be the winner. No problem, Tata. Tata. No problem, Michael. Thank you for joining us. Take care. Have a great weekend, okay? I think we'll get a global exclusive Christmas unit. I hope so, Watt. I don't want the Christmas units they got on JP. I don't want that. I hope we get Zazan as the UR, which I will 100% go for unless they just give it to us. And personally, I don't want Christmas Smash City. I don't want that unit at all. I really hope they give us a brand new Christmas unit that kind of goes along with our next global exclusive. That should be our Christmas one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that makes more sense. I love having units that are not available in JP and vice versa, because I think that's what can truly separate or create this whole meta shift that's different. And that will force players to no longer follow the trend that's going on in JP. Therefore, we must start creating our own identity as a community. Even though technically speaking, the JP community and the global community, we're all part of one giant community, but we still have our separate communities because of the way they're presenting the game to us, right? Santa's Zazan for Christmas. That would be pretty funny. No, Alpha, seriously, why you keep hating on Zazan, man? I'm telling you, your Zazan's gonna be boss. He's going to be the unit I take everywhere. I don't even care if I lose in PvP. I'm just going to bring him out. And we should be able to have UR Zazan and normal Zazan on the same team. I really hope that UR Zazan has the ability to throw a weapon and it hits the enemy unit and then he can pull that unit towards him. The reverse of all the teleporting skills in the game, right? You know, right now all the skills is they hit you and they teleport you themselves to in front of you. Well, I want the reverse of that. This will bring in more strategy. I want UR Zazan to throw spears or dagger or swords or something, hit that unit and then drag that unit towards you. Oh my gosh, dude, awesome. Congratulations. Again, I apologize. I just said dude. That's a natural reflex, by the way. How many pulls did you do to get it? I mean, I wish we could have saw that, but the fact that you're sharing it with us, I want to thank you for that. That's awesome. I will call UR Zazan Scorpion. I will dub him Scorpion if they gave him that move. So, by the way, Justin, if you're watching this somewhere down the line, Hiroki's crew, if you're watching this stream, if I'm not that good, so they're not going to watch my stuff, but if they're having spies, if any spies are in the chat right now, please, I beg you, please give UR Zazan the Scorpion move. And I will have like one of those things. What do you call those things? Like I will have like a sound bite at my finger's disposal. So every time Zazan does the move, I go, get over here, get over here. I'll just keep pressing that button to annoy the viewers. That's creative. 2 Zazans. Yes. Because you have the Super Zazan and the... Actually, now that... Wait a second. I'm going to try... Okay, since everyone's leaving, I'm going to try something real quick. Let's try something real quick. Can we do this real quick? Is this a thing? Is this a thing? All right, bear with me, folks. Bear with me here. Let's just remove him. Now that you just answered this, let me see this. Can we do this? Can we put him there? Can we put... Yes! There it is! You see it? There's 2 different Sterns on the same team. 10K was 2.5 laps of the bonus banner. Got it on step 3. Yes, I'm a male. Awesome. Well, congratulations. Aron, congratulations. Thank you for letting me... Yep, thank you. And that was a good time, by the way. Everyone needed to... no, you're fine, M1. It's time for me to actually cut the stream off anyways. I usually stream till about, you know, 11-ish. We have gap closing moves like shift attack, but we need gap opening moves. Yes, we need gap opening moves. Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. We need some scorpion death moves. So I just wanted to demonstrate this. You can actually play with super sexy Stern and normal Stern on the same team. So once UR Zazan shows up, I can run both Zazans on the same team. Same with Leela and Ryu. So there you go, David. We can run both of them on the same team. I never thought about it, but it makes sense because they're their own entities. Some games won't let you do that. Like some games won't allow you to use the same units, right? The same names. So. Okay, I think that's all the time we have for this specific stream. I think this was the biggest stream I ever had. So I want to thank everybody for showing tonight. Those who have already left, I do want to thank them for supporting this channel, supporting this stream from earlier. I think we had a lot of fun. We discussed a lot of topics. And I think it's always good to have new faces come into the stream and you know, start the topics of conversations and whatnot. And also I want to thank my guild and my guildies for coming in and supporting me tonight. Shout outs to you guys. And I want to thank the general community, World Divisions community, of course YouTube and all that stuff. And obviously I'm going to keep doing this. I am thinking about maybe starting streaming on Twitch on a different day. That will be tentative right now. I think maybe I'll start contemplating about doing that because, you know, you want to do different what's the word? Different vehicles to try to get different people. Hey Quack, how you doing? Hey Morning Nash. So you got me. You joined a little bit towards the end of my stream, but I was gonna say we had a lot of fun tonight. Big shout outs to everybody showing up, and then of course I'm thinking about start streaming on Twitch. Not trying to earn money or nothing, you know, just trying to, you know, just get a scheduling day going. So that way, you know, some people can make to one day and not make to the other and vice versa. So something I want to test out maybe soon. And next week, hopefully we'll do more videos every day because there's not much going on personally. So try to find more subjects we can talk about and whatnot for the video content. So yeah. And by the way, I had a great dinner tonight. I made some salmon. Whew. Some Asian salmon. That was delicious. So okay, guys, thank you for coming by, and you guys have a good weekend farming. Hope you guys have a good time, okay? And if I can watch it. Yep, no problem. I'll definitely keep the viewership posted in terms of I want to add additional day of streaming for Twitch. So I'm going to be new to it, so it's a lot to learn there. So you guys have a great weekend. Happy Halloween. We'll see you guys tomorrow in tomorrow's Halloween video. You guys get to see my costume. So, all right, guys, take care. I am signing off.